Hello everybody and welcome back to the Mobus Videos YouTube channel. I'm on Mobus Videos, otherwise known as Mo Central, depending on what day of the week and what video you're watching. And welcome back to Lincolnshire, specifically Lincolnshire version 2.1 at Gainsborough Bus Station. Now in the past two videos we have looked at the brand new 95 service that reflects the real life 95. That's a semi-direct service between Gainsborough and Retford. In real life, the buses then go and change at Retford on to do 99s up to Doncaster. But as I say, we don't do that yet. So the bus is basically time to go back and forth. So we've done both directions on the 95, a very exciting route. It was lovely to sort of visit the virtual variation of Retford, having been to the real life one quite a lot. If you haven't already, do go and check out those videos. A lot of what I will discuss here does relate to them. But for now, there is another service that has also been introduced in the form of the 95A. Now, the 95A, as you can read on the destination blind, is a part route only service, a fictional service that runs a shorter variation from Gainsborough, basically goes to a nearby estate, and then the vehicle will run back to the depot. So that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to be doing this trip and then lightly the depot run that it does. My weapon of choice is Stagecoach East Midlands Gainsborough based in real life 10901 YX67 VCO. So this bus is based at Gainsborough in real life. That does go here in real life. So I thought it would be a nice bus to take back to the depot as well in the stylish beach ball livery with Interconnect branding. And I've always really liked, as much as I do like initial beach ball as well, original, I do really like the purpley one that they did for Interconnect as well. So let's get our vehicle set up. So all of the lights are on, the destination's on. Everything is as it should be. There we go, we put the steering wheel back on. I was like, I can't see it. Put the lights on as well so we have a bit more of a better view. And I have one person, so we do actually have to go. It's not a case of being like, oh, we've got nobody on, we can go straight to the depot. No, we will actually have to go. So it's only a short run, is this? I think it's like 7 or 8 minutes or something like that. I mean, it's even shorter than when we had the initial 107 service that sort of double backed on the 100, for those of you that do remember. It was basically, that route was you'd go to Lincoln and then the bus had changed for that. The idea was it would provide you with something local to do in Lincoln. So if you just wanted to see Lincoln and not do the full route, you could do that. And it also provided a couple more AI buses to see. So that's since gone now, and the 107 exists as an entire route in the map. This map is once again an absolutely tremendous freeware map. Yes, you won't believe me when I do say it is free. It is entirely free to download as this map, created by the very talented Mr. Moose, who has been creating realistic maps of Lincolnshire for years. I mean, we're going on probably about a decade now, I would imagine, nearly, with Scunthorpe, the originals. So, and as I say, this is the latest Mr. Moose creation, where, as I say, route by route, we are exploring more and more of Lincolnshire, the wonderful area that it is. I do always have a soft spot for Lincolnshire, the East Midlands area. I've always found... I knew we were going to do that. I've always found the variety of sort of old vehicles, I mean, not so much now, but when they had the old Dennis Darts and the Trident still lurking about, I thought it was really, really cool that you could sort of jump on them and go down a load of national speed limit roads to different villages, and that was just how it was. I mean, you had quite a lot of focus around Cornwall, with First Bus being down there with their Olympians, but there was never that much attention bestowed on Stagecoach East Midlands when they had their RL Olympians, even though the geography was relatively similar. The geography is relatively similar. The kind of routes are relatively similar sort of dynamic. And they're still as interesting. It always just struck me as odd that people just were not fussed with the area. I mean, they go to Skegness for the now gone Tridents, but they've never trekked to sort of Gainsborough and Retford and do that kind of area. So and then when I started exploring there, it was absolutely tremendous, doing all the different tridents. And I mean, I've done V7R of the Eclipse, done a few darts, and had a nice variety of buses there, I must say. So they do still have tridents, it's just the newer ones now, sort of 2005 onwards. The older stuff tends to have pretty much gone. I know with... There we go, that's why we've had difficulties in, because we're not actually on full light. I thought it was a bit... I thought the lights weren't working as well as they usually do. But yeah, it's not as exciting. The 53 presidents, I believe they've pretty much all been withdrawn now, unfortunately. Absolutely love the motors they were, but unfortunately things like that can't last forever. So I believe all of them have now been withdrawn. There is the odd one in preservation, not necessarily one that ended its life with East Midlands. I'm not going to say much more, but there is one in preservation at least. So. The type is saved. I still remember going back to my first time sampling Stagecoach East Midlands properly in the capacity of that area rather than just Hull. I used to do quite a lot of trips to Hull, but it was a bit different sampling them. Where in Rotherham on the 19s to Worksop, I remember going into the bus station. I was being a fan of the Tridents, and I had an SY Connect ticket on me on the day, one of the South Yorkshire Connects. And I had that on me on the day, and I can very, very much remember jumping on 18047. 18047 it was, with apparently an axle, a rear axle on it that meant it could go quicker than normal vehicles at normal ones, and it was an absolute rocket ship. I remember going over to Dinnington, and I think I did the 18 back up from Dinnington, a Posh Powell's Optare Solo. And that was I remember that being an absolutely tremendous day. It really was a nice day out with that. And it sort of got me accustomed to the 19s that I then popped down and did a bit more. Now I do have to get a couple of the more recent acquired Tridents on there. They've got 255 plates, I wouldn't mind, 18391 and 92, and then they've got a couple of sort of, or like I think it's late 04s potentially and 05s, and there's definitely 05s. I'm sure there's the odd 04. Oh, that was me. Oh no, keep going. Oh, hang on. That was 47. I'm sure it was 47 I finished. Unless it does actually make you go all the way around the estate. I mean, we've got to go around anyway. It's not a... Then we're not presented with a choice. Although it will, I say that, it will say on the stop where the 95 terminates. So it's not a... I don't know what the gearbox is doing on this. But... that was different. So there we go. So we've been, roughly speaking, on time. We did the route quicker than usual by the looks of the time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a screenshot. I might actually, with that light in. Oh, that might work. Hang on. I have got a plan. There we go. We're going to take that down, obviously. We've got a nice screenshot, and now we're going to stick not in service upon the blind and run straight to the depot. See what comes up. Hey, Stagecoach not in service. That looks really cool. That's appropriate for this vehicle. Oh, hang on, do we run back? Oh, hang on, I've just set off when I think do we actually run back in service? hang on. Do we do a round? Do we do a return? Oh, no, we don't. Okay, no, we don't. I genuinely confused with them for a second. I was like, no, we are definitely not in service. Yes, I think it's because we'd slightly got here earlier, but even then it's strange that it doesn't just immediately. I do forget that this map does actually map your dead runs in and stuff like that. It's not just you follow signs and then you take and then you book on when you get there. I do forget that maps do that, because I don't tend to do that many book depot runs. I tend to just take buses back to the depot whenever I feel like it. There we go. This does look like a not in service bus. So at least we served the purpose going all the way up. At least we had one passenger on, so that's good. So a little bit of a video plug for the Ammo Central channel. I don't tend to usually announce them. Something that may interest a few of you. We're currently, by the time this video comes out, we'll be midway through the first of 3 weeks of a Manchester takeover on the Ammo Central channel, with at least 6 videos guaranteed, with a focus on Manchester, possibly even some more as well, sort of on the week of the takeover. I'm doing a big focus with quite a few trips planned over to focus on the upcoming Tranche 2 of the B Network bus franchising takeover and tender awards in Manchester. We were there for the first ones. I wasn't available, unfortunately, to do sort of a precursor to it at that point, although back then it was just the basics of 2 major. It was a couple of independents still lurking about, but it was, for the most in the eye, it was 2 big operators being taken over by one other. A couple of independents had done some focus on on a visit a couple of months previous, but I'd not really done too much pre-work on that. Now, Tranche 2 is a little bit different. There's a lot more operators involved, a lot more big names involved, and one big name taking over the majority of it that hasn't actually operated in the majority of said area. So it's a really exciting one. So we've got videos focusing on how some of the major operators are preparing for the changes. We've got videos focusing on the farewell of some operators who will not be part of the local network that they currently operate when Tranche 2 kicks in. And there's also videos planned for when it all starts, commencing the 24th of March. The first full weekday operation will be the Monday the 25th of March. And there are some videos planned focusing around the first full day of operations, where we'll have a little bit of a look. We will compare it to how it went when go ahead with the main operator taking over in Tranche 1. We'll see how the main operator in Tranche 2 takes over, the changes to some parts of the network, and then following that, alongside other videos a couple of weeks after, will then be sort of videos focusing on where some of the vehicles have gone and some of the outside changes that have also taken place. So there's a big main Manchester focus with the other videos guaranteed. So if that is something that interests you and you haven't already, do be sure to head over to the Ammo Central channel, click that subscribe button so you don't miss the upcoming videos in your feed. As I say, there will be quite a lot on Tranche 2. I'm very excited. We also get, on the exact same day that Tranche 2 is launched, we get the announcement for Tranche 3 operators. That will be the 3rd and final awards area for the B Network bus franchise in Manchester. So it's going to be a very exciting couple of weeks of content to film. It's going to be a very exciting launch week as well. Me and Steve plan to go over and have a look at it. So there's going to be certainly a lot to look forward to with that sort of couple of videos. But then also, after that, we're going to revert back to some local stuff focused in West Yorkshire, so there's quite a lot to look forward to if you're a fan of stuff in the north of England. Although if you're not, I do also have some bits from other parts of the country lined up soon as well. So yeah, there we go, a bit of a shameless plug, purely because I'm very excited to sort of, I'm very excited with the videos I've already got. I'm very excited with the ones I'm going to be filming in the upcoming weeks. I'm very excited, just like it was with Tranche 1, I'm very excited to see the sort of transition with Tranche 2. It's important to remember that bus franchising in Manchester is the biggest thing to happen to buses in the UK outside, or England outside of London, since 1986. It's the biggest change to take place since 1996, where we're reverting to a system that London has used successfully for decades, but we're looking at we're sort of approaching it in a very different perspective. It's very, very exciting to see how it's all been done with the operators, and I think the biggest one as well is it's really cool to see how they cope on initial takeover, how they then cope afterwards. I do plan to visit Bolton and Wigan to see how Go Ahead are settling in. That is something I'm going to do very soon. So it's a very, very exciting process. Very exciting to see what's happening and to see sort of how we view the bus industry changing, really. I mean, if it's successful in Manchester, we've got plans lined up for it potentially to take place in West Yorkshire as well. South Yorkshire are potentially looking into it, although I would argue that South Yorkshire don't need it at all. I would argue that West Yorkshire really do need it, but South Yorkshire do not need it whatsoever. And the thing is then Liverpool, again, they're also looking into it and have started to sort of do the planning process on it. So this idea of it happening in Manchester is a chain reaction for what's happening elsewhere, and I think it's so important that we document it, we research it, we properly analyse it, and we have the footage, we have the recordings, we have the sort of experience of seeing what it was like through the initial stages, so we can remember that for when it hits other regions. That it will, now that Manchester have done it, other cities, especially in the north of England, as part of the Northern Powerhouse area, will definitely want to follow suit. But it's all very exciting, it's all very, very different, and there's also hopefully going to be the launch, or the relaunch, because it already exist, the relaunch of a very popular series on the channel as well, that may be taking place around the same time, to hopefully document a little bit and discuss a little bit around some of the latest bus-related sort of discussion topics. But again, all of that to look forward to very soon, and we are nearly at the depot. You could argue that this video is a sort of mutation of the 95A and the 106, seeing as this section is pretty much the 106 route. However, we are running it as a dead run, and we are not in service. We're not picking anybody up, and we're not interested in that. It is time to go and park the bus up. Although I don't remember it being this far out. I really don't. Although I don't think sometimes the light, it helps. I mean, when it's sort of dark on an evening, everything looks a little bit different. However, I still don't remember it all the way down here. But I think, surely we're coming up to it now? I think we are. There we go. I can see a right arrow. So yeah, we're coming up to the depot. Ah, yes. So the 106 does terminate at Corringham. So it doesn't actually terminate outside the depot anymore. So presumably, if you do a 106, most of them will spin at Corringham. However, if you're doing one of the last ones of the day, the idea is you'll go... There you go, yeah. Some of them go up to the depot. Ah... Oh, that's fair. Or you run it with, you blind it up as Corringham Road and then go around to the depot. Like the 49 bus used to be back in the day in Leeds, where that used to go to Bramley Garage. It'd offload everybody at the bus stop outside of the garage, and then if it had any staff on, it would take them into the depot. It was a really, really good way to facilitate driver changeovers, even for like the Bramley Town End related routes and anything that you changed over in Bramley Centre. You could catch 49 out and change over, but to save a bus, the 49 was cut back to the centre. It helped save the bus, and it also stopped members of the public ending up in the depot, that I can understand as a win-win situation. Well, this has changed. I don't remember coming in this way, although I don't remember it having particularly much order to it last time I was here. I do remember it just sort of being a driving and kind of hope for the best. So we will pull it in here into the fuel pump and let the shunting staff do, and shunting staff and cleaning staff do what they need to do. So there we go. So there we go. So that was the 95A and associated dead run, as the 95A is the last one of the evening, so undoubtedly does go to the depot, even though it did confuse me for a brief second. A nice run, a nice bus. I mean, it was, I don't know what on earth it was doing with the gearboxes. And hopefully, as I say, a nice discussion for you all. And as I say, if you do want to get involved with anything I have said in this video or any of my other OMSI 2 videos, do feel free to comment in the comment section. I sometimes don't get a chance to reply to every single comment, but I do end up reading them all. Once again, I do hope you've enjoyed what we've discussed. If you have done, do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find it and enjoy it like you have. And if you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the Mobus Videos YouTube channel for more content like this from the simulation section with videos up to twice a week, as well as an archive of over 6,000 backseat and engine-focused public transport videos from the UK and beyond. With buses, trams, trains and more, there's some fun on there for everyone, with an additional 21 of those videos added per week. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next video, mate. Goodbye for now. Bye.